Stunts was a very impressive winner at Wyong last time to justify his reintroduction into a solid race here, a Group 3 at Randwick in the Kindergarten Stakes. The colt has got a little bit of speed about him, and look, I think his gallop on Tuesday morning at Warwick Farm was very strong. He's an interesting runner for us, and while he won't be one of our shorter priced horses on the day, we feel like if he's in good shape for the occasion, then he's the sort of horse that can run very well in a high pressure race. BEAU GESTE comes into this race off an unplaced effort last time, but he was certainly in the worst part of the going at Rose Hill, and I feel like from the horse I saw this morning, he looks like he could really improve on the quick backup. You know, off the back of his first up run that was so impressive, he had the sort of, you know, the earmarks of a horse that was looking for a mile, and we've been looking forward to getting him up over 1600 metres again this preparation. So it looks like he gets that chance on the weekend. BANISH was really luckless first up this preparation over 7 furlongs at Flemington. She was running right into a nice Group 3 race there first up, but was just shut out of a run at a vital time. We just reset her goalposts a little bit for various reasons with BANISH, but she's coming into this race nicely. And whether the 1200 metres is going to be too sharp for her will probably depend very much so on the track condition and the tempo of the race. But I think once she gets up to 7 furlongs and beyond, she's really going to come into her own, and if she can be fit for a race like the JB Car, that's really a race to be looking for her, particularly if we get some cut in the ground. But we're happy with the way she's going, but there's improvement left in her with quite a few weeks between runs. DEMERARA is absolutely flying this preparation coming into this PJ Bell Stakes third up, and should really enjoy getting back to Sydney and having the fitness on her side now as she comes into this race being her hardest assignment, all preparation. The filly ventured south last time in and just probably wasn't quite as seasoned as we needed her to be, despite starting in the market in 2 stakes races in the spring. And now that she's really low flying at this stage of her career, this daughter of Commands, who is probably our best filly by that sire, and we have no more of them anymore. She's really coming to this race in great condition, and we feel like she can run a big race for us on the weekend. MANICURE looks like she has improved a fraction going into the PJ Bell second up after acquitting herself very strongly in the Derby Munro against the Colts first up. I felt like the filly worked really strongly on Tuesday morning at Osborne Park, and I think that, you know, back to the 3-year-old fillies, she has an excellent chance here of running a big race, and her effort last time definitely suggested that she had a race like this, you know, within her reach. ENCRYPTION is going really well coming into the Group 1 ATC size over 1400 metres on Saturday, and we have been really happy with the way the horse has gone ahead since winning the Black Opal in Canberra a few weeks ago. The colt has a wonderful nature about him and just seems to absorb the training that he's been given, and with that sort of improvement, this is the sort of race that he can be competitive in. But you know how fitting it would be too to see him run so well in a race that his mother won a few years ago, and as the first foal, he would certainly be making her stocks pretty valuable in the years ahead. He's trained on strongly, and he looks set to run extremely well this weekend. Astoria comes into the ATC Derby with a really perfect grounding for the 1.5 mile race here this weekend. The colt was narrowly touched off in the Group 2 Talix Stakes on Saturday, and I thought his run was full of merit, and the horse looks to have just tightened up a fraction coming out of that race. He has been consistent throughout the preparation, and for me, hasn't run a disappointing race for us yet. So in an even race, in a pretty open year, we feel like Astoria can be one of the horses that at least has the record of placing in a VRC derby and performing well from everywhere from 1100 metres right to 2500 metres to have the turn of foot necessary to be competitive here. And we'd be pretty excited about his chances of getting a good run and finishing off strongly at Randwick. KEMENTARI is really going well coming into the Doncaster, 5th up this preparation, and the colt has a real sense of this being his grand final week. We've been impressed to see the change in the horse leading into the weight for age George Ryder Stakes last time, and after racing so well against Winks, beaten less than 2 lengths in that race, he just seems to have come out of it with even more energy, and he's certainly looking like he's still a little bit on the rise, which is just perfect considering what he did at this track and distance last start in the Randwick Guineas. We feel like this is going to be the sort of race where we're prepared to see a big performance from KEMENTARI, and it's for us very exciting to saddle up a colt of his calibre in such a prestigious race. And we would all be looking forward to seeing his best this weekend. HARMATTAN comes into the Group 3 Adrian Knox Stakes with great form, having run a very strong second in the Group 3 Alexandra Stakes at Moonee Valley last time. This is the sort of filly that's really jumped out of the ground, particularly as we've stepped her up to 1500 and 1600 metres her last couple of starts. And with good form, even against the older mares 2 ago, this is the sort of race that during the championships, an autumn filly on the rise can be extremely effective. And we'd like to think that despite her laid-back nature and her late maturing career, HARMATTAN's the sort of horse that can be right there for us. So I think we should be looking to see HARMATTAN finish off very strongly here, and it should be a very interesting race from filly from our stable that has a bit of a future ahead of her.